GG.CO.UK is lucky enough to be here at Southgate Stables with Amy Murphy, Fansbet Ambassador. We're going to find out all the latest news on Kalashnikov ahead of the Cheltenham Festival 2019. We'll start straight away, Amy, by talking about stable star Kalashnikov. How is he after his run at Sandown?
Yeah, he's in good form. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was obviously disappointing. We were hoping to go there and off the back of a big run, but you know, we are where we are, and hopefully it'll be one of those runs where you look back in a couple of months' time and it's just one to put a line through. He seems to, you know, there's nothing obvious wrong with him afterwards. We checked him through with the vets and he had his blood taken and everything like that, and nothing came to light. So yeah, we'll carry on as we have been doing, train him as normal and still be aiming for the festival.
And in terms of the festival, is there any inclination to maybe step up and trip for the JLT, or is the Arkle still to plan?
He's certainly going to hold both entries right down till the week before, and we'll make a decision, you know, on ground will be a factor and things like that, but I think for my instinct is to stay at the Arkle trip. You know, you look back at all the Arkle winners and they all have to be out and out stayers to win it. And he, you know, you go back through his sort of, you know, his Supreme and his Betfair and his 2 Novice Chase wins. He's not slow. So I think probably hold our own and stay at the Arkle, but we'll still keep the GL in the back of our mind.
You ran such a fantastic race at Cheltenham last year. Do you think a return to a track like Cheltenham, a galloping track, might suit him a bit better?
Yeah, definitely, and out and out hold out the left-handed as well. And I think he really comes alive on those big days. You know, his 2 biggest runs last year were the Betfair and Cheltenham. I think those big field, well, obviously in the Arkle you're not going to get a big field, but you know, the big occasions really bring him out and liven him up. So hopefully that'll fall into place.
Definitely. And in terms of his training regime between now and March, how is that looking? What would be the plan?
Yeah, so I mean he's fit. So fitness-wise, it's just a case of keeping him ticking over. But we're going to do plenty of schooling with him, plenty of different sort of jumping exercises, just to try and get him a bit sharper in that sense. So yeah, no, there'll be plenty of schooling going on. And you know, the most frustrating thing is at home he's a very, very good jumper. So we've just got to kind of think outside the box a bit to get him in that situation that he's showing at the races. But no, we'll you know, it'll be mainly keeping him ticking over and keeping him in one piece.
Obviously, he's your stable star. Does he sort of get any special treatment here at the yard, or is he just one of the same?
No, he's, you know, they all get treated the same. You know, they're very lucky. They all get turned out every day. You know, he's just one of the boys, should we say?
And looking back to last year's race, the Supreme Novices, obviously it was a heartbreaking finish. How often do you look back and think about the race, and what were your emotions during the race?
Yeah, I mean, at the time I was just hugely proud of him and all the team that he'd ran such a huge race. I mean, obviously, you know, it was gutting to get beat and it be so close, but at the same time, it was great to be, you know, our first runner to be in the first 3 was amazing. I don't think Jack Quinlan looks at it that way, but no, for me it was just, you know, to be bringing him home, having finished in the first 3 and ran a mighty race. I was delighted with him.
And in terms of his sort of potential rivals in the Arkle, is it sort of Glenn Forser and Richburg the ones you sort of think are the ones to beat?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Glenn Forser was obviously very impressive the other day. He jumps phenomenally and he keeps galloping. So I think you know, Cheltenham will also play to his strengths as well. But yeah, Richburg obviously travelled very well into the home straight the other day and looked good. So yeah, no, I think there's plenty. Obviously, it's very unfortunate for Paul and all the team to have lost Dynamite Dollars. But I think, you know, it'll still be a hell of a race.
And away from stable star Kalashnikov, are there any other horses in the coming weeks you're looking forward to running?
Yeah, obviously Mercy and Prince was electric the other day at Kempton. He's in at Warwick on Friday, but he's likely to hold back another week and go for the Grade 3 at Newbury next Saturday, over 2.5, and he's in great form. He's in the form of his life. So, I mean, obviously he got a hefty hike from the handicapper, but hopefully he'll still be competitive, and his season target is the Topham, which he's already jumped around those fences. So, fingers crossed he'll. No, he's you know, and obviously we've still got Hawthorne Cottage as well, who unfortunately had a setback in November, So she's going to stay the bumper route now this year, and will be targeted at the Aintree Mares bumper.
Would you say that she's probably the nicest younger horse in the yard?
Yeah, we've also got Logan Rocks, who has been placed on all 3 of his bumper starts, and goes to Fontwell on Sunday. Should have a good chance on Sunday. He's a lovely young horse, and actually a horse that's improving mentally and physically all the time. So I think he could be an exciting horse for next season going hurdling.
And away from the jumps, how many flat horses do you have for a summer campaign? So
we'd have about 40. We've stepped up quite numerically wise, quite a lot from last year. So yeah, no, we've got some nice flat horses and a good bunch of 2-year-olds as well, and as well as the older horses. So no, I think it'll be an exciting season.
And on a personal level for you, do you prefer the flat or the jumps? Are you going to focus in one area?
Child, I think I love both. I think people actually find it amazing. We've actually only have 12 jumpers, so we've actually got a lot more flat horses than we've got jumpers. Don't get me wrong, I'd love plenty more jumpers, but I'd like to keep it 50-50 if possible. But we're obviously at the minute we're more flat horses than jumpers.
So what is the difference between training a 3-mile chaser and a 5-furlong sprinter?
So obviously the jumpers need a lot more stamina, and actually it's a different kind of fitness. They need to be extremely fit to be in a fighting finish at the end of a 2 or 3 mile race. Whereas a lot of the sprinters, and it's short and sharp, so they might they go out often on the same lots and things, but they just do different work.
And finally, if there's one horse running at Cheltenham that you could steal from another yard, who would you take? I
think everybody would say Altior, because it looks like a penalty kick. God forbid, please, that he gets round.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Amy.
No problem.